Okay, I had it figured out. You're all just pretending. Joke's over. No more gaslighting me about this game. I've tried to play it maybe 4, 5, 7 times, but nope. Brain overload as soon as I spot this interface, and I leave to do something more suited to my mentality. I see the Steam release, where they've put in a UI that doesn't look like something from an 80s film version of the Pentagon, and I foolishly give it a shot. First mistake. I know I can't play it, because I know that nobody can. I'm repeatedly ramming my head against one of those wooden baby toy things, expecting it to eventually fit in the square hole. So I load in and make a world and press no on the tutorial because I'm a big boy with a big brain, and then go hunting for a section of land without an infinite dwarf drowning device because I don't know how to stop that. I go here, nice green section of the map, makes for a nice, green, nature-filled landscape. Wrong. 6 inches of snow on every surface. Perfect, so they keep moaning about snowstorms, even though these fat little fucks definitely don't feel the cold, until they've dug out a little dungeon. No, don't bother going inside, this isn't all for you or anything, dickhead. Dormitory. Workshop 1. Workshop 2. Starting to think now, maybe this won't be so bad. Dwarves are happy, there's plenty of food, they're picking berries, returning to the bliss of pre-industrial civilization. Oh, some migrant, how quaint. A couple new companions, perhaps a fruit organizer, and a floor inspector. Wrong again. 10 new dwarves, and half of them are children for some reason. In about 3 seconds my fortress has gone from a peaceful little habitat to a cross between an asylum and an orphanage. Great. More beds, more shops, food warehouse inside because I have a million rats eating my plump helmet. I don't understand how stairs work, so I watch a 30-minute saga on how stairs work, and I still don't know how stairs work. But it doesn't matter, because at this point I realise that my dwarves are going to start politely asking for more alcohol soon. And by politely asking, I mean if they aren't drunk all of the time, they'll start committing mass suicide, which, while relatable, isn't very helpful. No barrels, says my brewing stand. So I make barrels. No barrels, says my brewing stand. Dwarves are apparently filling empty barrels with expanding foam or something. Eventually I get a barrel and the dwarves chew up and spit a few hundred strawberries into it to make wine. In the meantime, one of our dogs beats the shit out of a wolverine, which then runs away, and a child punches it in the neck and kills it instantly. Pretty sure those things eat lions, but fine. Getting smoother again. Fisher dwarf that's useful for the vast swaths of... Swaths? How do you say that? How do you say that word? I don't know how to say that word. Suave. Swathe? Fisher dwarf that's useful for the vast swathes of fish in the area. You shall be my commandant. Gem cutter, that's not a real job. I set one of the dwarves to hunt, but he just takes a crossbar at the store and stares at it. I don't know how to make him actually use it. Eventually I just slaughter a ground bird. I also decide that maybe it's a little cruel to just have one dwarf endlessly digging out an entire mine shaft while 20 or so other dwarves stand around watching her, so I assign another dwarf to mining, which leads me to the realization that getting a dwarf to change profession is pretty much as easy as forcing them to do something until they gaslight themselves into believing it's their one true passion. My expedition leader has her own room now, which also seems to be doubling as some sort of shouting chamber for angry dwarves. So I build a meeting room underground which quickly fills up with horses. Obviously now I just need to build a stable for dwarves to have meetings in. Frederick Bergenbussen is in a strange mood and has locked down a workshop to build Funko Pops. I'm paying attention to none of this because I'm mostly concerned about my complete lack of defences and the small army of angry boars making their way towards us. Oh good, more migrants. That's just grand. Can't say no, of course. Where's our dwarf border patrol? Where's dwarf ice? They come on the heels of traders, who I don't understand at all. Do I need to make a broker? Do I need gold? Do I need silver? What do you want? I just ignore it and focus on the 6 new arrivals, which somehow also contains mostly children. Children are useless, by the way. They can't do anything productive, they just do chores and play games. Why can't I have them making shoes or cups or something? Oh, okay. Now rather than doing nothing, one of them's decided to disappear. I'm sure they're fine. That'll be their tormented spirit haunting the strawberry patch. Oh come on, don't be such a downer. I'll take their minds off it by getting them to dig a nice big mine shaft. I'll just pretend I haven't seen that. Found a nice cave underground, which, under decree of the Dwarven Propaganda Agency, definitely does not have a massive pile of humanoid bones in the corner. I decide, for unrelated reasons, to seal the cave entrance until I'm ready to properly take its beauty in. I don't question why I steadily start seeing more and more of it on the map anyway. Turns out, about 3 months later that I'd sealed a dwarf in there, and he'd been living off cave water and catching small animals. He was pretty happy though, as in, he refused to leave. I could not convince him to abandon his new fortress home among the mushrooms, so that's fine, he will stay there forever. Not to worry. The game's decided to launch enough migrants at me to replace him 20 times over, so when he inevitably gets eaten by a giant cave wasp, I can pretend not to notice. Lots of dwarves for lots of workshops. I thought I'd have lost eons ago, but everything's falling into place nicely. I've even built a drawbridge, though dwarves pay no attention to who's using said drawbridge when they're giving an order to pull the lever, so I accidentally slingshot one of them into the side of the mountain, but it's fine, they're alive. This game's easy. I've even figured out trading. Turns out, you need your broker there, and they just always decide that they have something more important to do. Fortresses have lots of corners to piss in, lots of other people's bedrooms to stand around in. Why would you be doing your fucking job? Oh. What a diligent child. Finally, they're rising up and contributing. I didn't think Sheldon had any craft skill, but I do wonder what sort of magnificent impressionist artifact a child's mind can come up with. Several weeks pass. I'm getting annoyed now that I can't use my craft station while young Sheldon is in there mincing about. Apparently, that lack of craft skill was a problem after all, as once the child realised their puny, pathetic 3-year-old hands couldn't carve a life-size model of Madonna, they proceeded to fly into a rage and run into the hall, punching a random adult dwarf. This is great. It gives us a lesson in dwarven parenting. What is a reasonable response in this situation? Is it A. Nurture the child and calm them down, non-violently diffusing the situation? B. Give them a stern telling off, maybe even a smack, and send them on their way. C. Lock them in the cells for a night. C is a bit like Scared Straight, that really shitty TV show. If you said C, you're wrong. Those are all wrong. The answer is D for dwarf. Apparently, a reasonable reaction to being punched by a child is for you and 3 other dwarves, one of which is holding a battle axe, to descend upon them, cut off their hand, and beat them to death. And don't bother cleaning it up. Just go get yourself a drink. It's been a tough day. You've had to fight a child after all. On the plus side, that's productivity gone up about 2%. And it's one less mouth to feed. That's a win. Which means I've won. Which means I can sleep easy, knowing my little friends are safe and sound in their beds. Yeah, I'll have to cut this before I die because I've become accidentally invincible, so if you're still here for some reason, you could do this, or that, or even this. Or don't. I can't force you. You're not my child, and I'm not a 3-foot-tall axe-wielding maniac.